Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishawahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 16 to 20 of chapter 3. Evam pravartitam chakram.
Evam pravartitam chakram.
Nanuvartayati hayah.
Nanuvartayati hayah.
Aghayurindriya ramah.
Aghayurindriya ramah.
Mogham partha sajivati.
Mogham partha sajivati.
Yastvat maratireva syad.
Yastvat maratireva syad.
Atmatriptascha manavah.
Atmatriptascha manavah.
Atmanyeva cha santushtah.
Atmanyeva cha santushtah.
Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Naiva tasya krite narthah.
Naiva tasya krite narthah.
Na krite neha kaschana.
Na krite neha kaschana.
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu.
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu.
Kaschidarthavyapashrayah.
Kaschidarthavyapashrayah.
Tasmadasaktah satatam.
Tasmadasaktah satatam.
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थिता जनकादयः
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So we are studying verse number 18 of chapter 3, wherein he is describing the state of a yogi, the state of a spiritually developed person with respect to the world. And when I say world, it includes actions, it includes non-actions, it also includes relationships with people, relationships with objects. We don't usually use the word relationships when it comes to objects, but how you relate with objects. So everything is covered. So fundamentally, in the first part of this verse, what is he saying? For him, there is no motive to act or to not act here. So he is talking about your relationship with action and non-action. Why I'm saying he's talking about your relationship with action and non-action is, ultimately, there is no meaning in studying about an enlightened person just as just like a story. Oh, the yogi is very great. A yogi does this. Yogi. Okay, so what is it for you? How is it relevant to your life? So all the things which he is explaining is something which you can aspire for, which you can reach the state. See, you have to see that possibility first as a sadhak. You are at a particular level, and unless you see the possibility of moving to a higher level, you will never be able to chalk out a path and move towards that level. If you don't see that possibility, you will never put an effort in that direction. In one of the sessions, I was telling you about faith, blind faith. You should not have blind faith, but faith is very much required. Actually, the right kind of faith pushes you to act in the proper direction. Many people think just because they are scientific, now they don't have any faith. That's not true. You cannot exist without faith. If you're right now sitting and listening to this discourse in your room, it's because you have faith that your roof will not fall down. But it's not a blind faith. You have a general knowledge that certified engineers have built that room, that house. So your faith has some basis. Every time you are crossing the road, it is a faith. Every time you get into a cab, there is a faith. This person will take me safely to my destination. Every time you sleep, you have the faith that you will wake up next day. Supposing you start doubting, if I close my eyes and if I go to sleep, what if I don't wake up? If you have the doubt, you cannot sleep peacefully. It is that faith that you will wake up that allows you to close your eyes and very happily go into that state of sleep. Just think of it. But these faiths are not blind faiths. Even when you're inhaling and exhaling, you are exhaling, which means actually, you're throwing out the air outside. Now you have the faith that you will be able to again inhale. Otherwise, you will be afraid to exhale. See, what is life? When you come in, you take your first inhalation. That is when life starts at the physical level. And then when you exhale, the last exhalation which you do, that is your moment of death. After that, you don't inhale using that same body. So first you inhale and then last, finally you exhale. When I say first you inhale, when you are born, in between that series of inhalations and exhalations you do, just at the breathing level. So when you are exhaling, supposing you don't have the faith, what if I am not able to inhale? Now your life will become miserable. Every time you exhale, you will go through such intense fear. Even a scientist who says, let me discover whether there is life in this, in some other planet or not, or let me invent this. Whatever it is that he is doing research on, he basically has a faith that there is an answer there. The possibility. Unless and until he sees a possibility of life elsewhere, why should he do research on that? Why would he put on all the efforts in that direction? If there is a disease and he says, okay, let me find a cure for it, it means his mind first conceives the possibility of a cure. Otherwise, he will not do any research on that. There will be no effort at all. So, unless and until you see the possibility of something, you will not develop faith in it. And when you don't develop faith, you will not put in any effort in that direction. The same rule is applicable at the spiritual level also. When you are reading all this, this may look as if it is so high. So, I am caught up with my negative emotions. I'm caught up with so many thoughts. When am I going to reach all this? If you ask, when am I going to reach all that, at least there you are seeing a possibility. But sometimes people ask, I don't think I'll ever be able to reach this. The moment you lose that faith, it means you are no longer seeing the possibility of getting into this state. Thereafter, you will have no urge to do sadhana. The very spiritual path gets blocked. But the moment you see the possibility, all the blocks go away. You may not exactly know what the final result is, but that effort to move forward will always be there. So when we are reading these verses, when we are going into the depth of what that supreme state of a yogi is, never ever lose your faith in yourself. Never ever lose your faith in the possibility of you becoming a yogi. The moment you start doubting that, you will not be able to do any sadhana. If you just blindly accept whatever is said without understanding anything, well, that is blind faith. The masters are not asking you to develop blind faith, but they are only asking you to keep that flame of faith, that possibility of you expanding into higher levels of consciousness and reaching that infinite dimensional consciousness. It may happen today, it may happen tomorrow, it may happen after 10 years, it doesn't matter. But as long as that possibility is there, your flame of faith is alive, nothing can stop you. Even if you're all alone in a place, you will be doing the sadhana. Some yogis, they choose to live a life of solitude, just being with themselves, probably in a quiet place, maybe a forest area, it may be the mountains. What is it that they're doing there? Or at least what are they supposed to do? Sadhana. Now what gives them that motivation to do sadhana? They're all alone by themselves. Probably they may never meet anyone in their life. See, I know many yogis who have left their bodies unknown, they reached very great heights in spirituality, but they are not known to the world. So then what motivated them to do sadhana? It is not external name. It is not external fame. It is not wanting to be a guru and all that. That is all meaningless. It pales into insignificance when you think about this infinite, grand state of self-realization. It is that flame of faith which they kept alive within themselves. That possibility which they could clearly see, yes, I can also reach this exalted state of yoga. Yoga means union with the infinite. That motivated them. So whether you are in solitude or whether you are living with people, all these things do not matter. A person who wants to achieve something can achieve it in any circumstance. A rose blooms even when the water is dirty around it. Doesn't complain and say, oh, the water is not good water, therefore I am not able to bloom. It doesn't say all that. Similarly, an achiever achieves, irrespective of whatever his or her situation is. Let it be any challenge. You see, some of the greatest achievers, they came from very humble backgrounds. It's not that they, right from beginning itself, everything was great for them. They had to face a lot of difficulties. But it is that flame of faith which drove them towards their chosen goal. And here in the spiritual path, all these kinds of verses where he's talking about a yogi, where he's talking about that infinite dimension, they help you to conceive the spiritual goal very clearly, where you want to move, what is that state which you want to get into. Initially, when you start off in this path, things will be very hazy. But as you keep doing your sadhana, now the very goal becomes clear. You will have to consistently be with this. So, these kinds of verses where he's talking about the higher states of consciousness, they are so important in a sadhak's journey, because it is these verses which help a sadhak to become clear about where he wants to reach. Otherwise, you will only be dabbling within the known realm. You can never move out of this quagmire. A person who has risen above all this tells you this is what it is. And if you want to reach that, you need to start becoming clear in your understanding, clear in your thoughts. And then once you become clear in your thinking, now your emotions will start moving there. That is the flame of faith which I'm talking about. And then that will also pull you along. That will make you act. It will make you do whatever sadhana is required in order to progress further. So, when we are doing a verse like this verse number 18, don't listen to it in a dry way. Bring in that bhavana. Yes, you have your set of problems, you're caught up with that, this is bothering you, that is bothering you. For a while, let all those problems remain wherever they are. Just let this energy trigger that flame of faith within you. Start seeing the possibility of what you can achieve as a human being. This human birth is so precious, and this is what you can achieve. He's talking about the future you. He's talking about your potential. See, there are two ways of looking at it. One is you can say he's talking about some yogi or the great masters, he's talking about them. That is also correct. The other way is he's talking about what you can become. He's talking about your capacity, your possibility. See, the moment you bring in that attitude, now this whole verse starts speaking a different language to you. There was a great Siddha. Now, he had done a lot of tapas and become enlightened. So when he was asked, what motivated you? He said, when he was young, he happened to come across a small booklet. And that booklet had about a handful of questions which were asked to some great spiritual master. He didn't even remember that master's name, And as soon as he opened, there was some question was asked, what is your purpose in life? And the answer, first line, your purpose in life is to realize yourself. That's all he read. And the moment he read that, he says it did something to him so deeply. He was unable to read further. He just closed his eyes and he went into deep meditation. What does he mean by realizing myself? It looks as if I know myself. But as he started going deeper and deeper, he found that he hardly knew himself. He could see that he had this physical body, but the inner parts of the body that were not known to him today. What exactly is happening when the breathing is happening? Don't give a textbookish answer. Oh, breathing means oxygen is taken and carbon dioxide is given out. No, it's not that. That mystery behind that process, that started getting revealed to him. Oh, who is this individual who is occupying this body? Who am I? So he went deep inside, and that led him on to that path of self-discovery. At one point, he became an accomplished Siddha. He became a great holy master. So when he read that line, your purpose in life is to realize yourself, it was not that he was reading the book. He was having a conversation. He was receiving that message directly into his mind, into his thoughts, into his emotions, into his consciousness itself. Directly relating that to his consciousness. Obviously, that Siddha would have done a lot of sadhana in his previous births. Otherwise, when you just read a line like that, it will not trigger such a deep response. But the moment he could relate to it personally, now that uplifted him. That made him go deep, deep with him into the path of self-discovery. So here, the verses are there right before you. And who is talking? It is no less a person than Lord Krishna himself. What more do you require? It is not what level Krishna was that matters. It is how much are you absorbing. For him means for you. Now, whether you're a man or a woman, all these things do not matter. For you, for the individual, we'll take it like that. Then it becomes closer to you. For him, that is for the individual, there is no motive to act or to not act here. So last week, I gave you a couple of dimensions of artha. The first dimension of artha means motive, which is what we have directly put in the translation. There is no motive to act or to not act here. So he is in a state of neutrality. He neither has the urge to act, nor does he have the urge not to act. Then is he going to act or not act? That just depends on the situation. Whatever is best suited in the situation, he will do it. Supposing you go and insult a master. Let's say you go and insult, you use very harsh words and insult a master. Now, how will he react? Is he going to give back to you, or will he just keep quiet and smile? Nobody knows. But what happens within him? He neither has a motive to give back, nor does he have a motive to avoid giving back. So it all depends on that situation. If talking back in a harsh way is best suited in the situation, he will do it. If keeping quiet is best suitable in that situation, he'll just keep quiet. If just smiling away is best suited, is the most effective response in the situation, he will do that. So whatever he does will not be dictated by any pressure which he feels from within. It will be dictated by what is the best possible action or what is the best possible response in that given situation. See, the problem is, let us say somebody comes and insults you. Now, you will immediately get affected internally. So, it will give rise to anger, or it may give rise to fear because the other person is dominating. So, if your anger goes out of control, your response is going to be acting out of that anger. You may say something back in an angry way. If you are overwhelmed by the situation, you become very much afraid, then you may want to run away. This is what the biologists, they call as a fight or flight response. Now, this is one way of functioning, but that may not be the best way of functioning. See, supposing, let us say, you are acting, and if your action is not under your control, now how can we ensure that that action is of good quality? So whatever response you give, if you want to increase the quality of your responses, you need to be in a neutral state for that. So it's not that a master will always keep quiet. Even if you go and insult him, he'll just keep quiet. It's not like that. If required, he may talk back in a harsh way. What is Krishna asking the Arjuna to do? The Pandavas refused. The Kauravas refused to give the Pandavas their share of the kingdom. He said, don't leave what belongs to you. You have all the rights. Fight for justice. Don't be so foolish and give up your rights. First, he tried other methods. When all those didn't work, he said, okay, no choice. We are not asking for a war, but you people are asking. We are ready for that. So the response was very measured. Even in a battlefield, Lord Krishna's response was very measured. That's what you need to understand. So everything which a master does is deliberate. No action, no word, no non-action, that is avoiding action, no course of action or no response will be a slip. Nothing will go out of his control. He will dictate terms in each and every step of a response. You go and shout at a master, he may just keep quiet because that may be the best response in the situation. You go and shout at a master, he may shout 10 times more than you back. Not that he is not acting out of an internal pressure like anger. It's not that he has lost his temper. No, he remains very cool, composed. But if that response is necessary in that situation, he will give 100% of that. So that is the first meaning, the first implication of artha. No motive to act or not act here. Perfect neutrality. So you observe what's happening in your life. All the time you are being reactive. Your responses are not deliberate. Before you even start questioning, you already responded. The impulse takes over. Supposing you see a beautiful object, let's say the latest cell phone, the latest model cell phone, or it could be a car, it could be anything. The moment you see that, if you have a weakness for it, that will generate a reaction automatically within you. It will create a pressure within you. You will just rush and buy it. If you don't have money, you will not mind taking a loan. But somehow or other you want it. There is no thinking at all. A master will never fall a prey to that. A yogi is one who will neither want it nor will he not want it. He is not going to say, I don't want a car. Neither will he say, I want a car. If a beautiful latest model car is available, now he will check his finances. If he has the finances, why not? It's a very deliberate decision which he takes. And will that be useful right now? All that he will look into and then take a decision. It's a very beautiful state. Today you are all the time reacting based on your internal pressure. But when you are free of it, you will not just merely be reactive. Rather, you will do whatever is the best in any given situation. So a yogi, he does everything in life without any pressure, internal pressure. When he wakes up early in the morning, he feels so fresh. He wakes up with that peace and calmness. throughout the day, he carries that peace and inner calmness. He may be driving a car, he may be working, let us say, he is a computer engineer working in the office, or he may be in what some of the in the corporate language it's called a high tension job. They say he may be in that. See, nobody can be in a more high pressure or high tension job than the work than Lord Krishna. He was Arjuna's charioteer in a world war. Every arrow was coming to him. Before it goes to Arjuna, it will first have to cross him. But Krishna was very cool. So then he may be with his family, he may be eating, he may go to a restaurant, whatever it is that he may go and see a movie, he may go and watch a cricket match, he may watch a football match. See, it doesn't matter. Let it be any action. He has no motive to do all this, nor does he have any motive to avoid all this also. According to whatever is the best in a situation, he will keep acting. So, and then when he goes back to sleep in the night, he carries the same peace with him. And he closes the eyes and slides into that state of sleep at will. He is a master of his entire life. He sleeps at will, wakes up at will, he does every action at will, or whatever responses he makes, everything is at his will. Today, your whole life is not under your control. When you want to sleep, you're unable to sleep. Your mind is not in a state of rest. When you want to wake up in a fresh way, you feel very tired. Some people wake up with a headache, which means a lot of pressure inside. When you want to relax, your mind is not allowing you to relax. When you want to act dynamically, you become so stressed that spoils the quality of your action. You're not in control of what's happening, whereas this person is in perfect control. Then we saw the next dimension of artha. Artha means reason. So there is no reason for him to act or not act. So what is the reason for you to act or to avoid action? You're always seeking happiness only. See, there are two motives which you have. Both these motives actually are two parts of the same motive, which is happiness. How do you seek happiness? In two ways. The first way is called dukkha nivritti, which means you try to avoid sorrow. Anything which is unpleasant, you try to run away. This is one reason. See, when he says to not act, to avoid action, what are the things which you avoid? Those things which cause a lot of displeasure to you. That which gives you unhappiness. Dukkha nivritti. Then the second reason is sukha prapti. Sukha means happiness. You want to acquire happiness in a positive way. So those things which entertain you, which are pleasurable to you, you automatically gravitate towards that. These are the two motivating factors which govern everyone. And if you go further deep into it, they are nothing but the two ways by which you are seeking happiness, that ultimate happiness. You're either trying to avoid sorrow or you're trying to court happiness. Court that which gives you pleasure. So this is the reason why you are acting or you are avoiding action. He's talking of act and to not act. These are the two reasons. You always gravitate towards that which you feel will give you sukha, and you always avoid, you run away from that which you feel will give you dukkha, sorrow. This is what is happening internally when you're facing life. Now here, this person has already reached the state of infinite happiness. He has gone to the source of happiness, which is nothing but the higher self, the Atman, the Brahman, the infinite, supreme reality. Now, having reached that state of infinite happiness, his actions are not going to be prompted by this motive or reason of sukha prapti, nor is his avoidance of action going to be triggered by this reason, dukkha nivritti. Why? Because he is already in a state of infinite happiness. So that is why there is no motive to act or not act here. There is no reason for him to act or not act here. Very powerful dimensions. I'll give you a few more today and then we will move on. Now, the third dimension of artha. Artha also means cause. So there is no cause to act or to not act here. What do we mean by cause? Your entire life is governed by the cause and effect relationship. Everything which you do is an effect of some cause, and this becomes the cause of some other effect. When I say everything which you do, it means whatever thoughts you generate, whatever emotions you generate, whatever speech which comes out of you, whatever actions you do, and when we say actions, whatever actions you avoid also, everything is a cause. It has an effect. The moment something is a cause, it will lead to some effect. Right now, this the session is going on. Now, this is the cause. There has to be some effect in you. The energy of this may inspire you, and you may get so motivated to do your sadhana. That could be one effect. Or this energy may just hit you and you may go off to sleep. I think that is, the possibility is more. That is also an effect only. Now, if you ask me, sir, some people write, sir, we are very sorry. I feel very sorry. One sadhak actually sent me a mail. I feel very sorry, sir. You're putting so much of effort and explaining, but somewhere down the line, I fall off to sleep. So my answer to that is, it is wonderful. In some way, this session has been useful to you, at least to go off to sleep. Because sleep is such a precious thing, no? There are many people who want to sleep peacefully, but they are unable to sleep. So if nothing else, if these Sunday sessions make you sleep well, it is a great achievement. So no problem. Some effect will be there. Every cause has an effect and every effect has a cause. This is the law of cause and effect. Now, so whenever you think something or feel something or say something or you act or you avoid action, whatever it is that you're doing in life, that is going to create some effects, and that effects will become causes for further effects. So this chain of cause and effect, what we call, what he called as chakram, the cause and effect chakra, is always going on in your life, and you are caught up in that. So when your consciousness is caught up in this cause and effect cycle, you will get affected by the cause and the effect, because this cause is the effect of some other previous cause. So if your effect is negative, now it will have a negative effect on your mind. If the effect is positive, you will get so excited. You are completely dominated by this cause and effect cycle. Can you stop the cause and effect cycle? No. No one can stop this law of cause and effect. The law of karma is based on the law of cause and effect only. Then what can you do? The choice is whether you are going to be caught up in this, whether you are going to be affected by this, or whether you can rise above this, whether your consciousness can become totally unaffected by this cycle of cause and effect. That capacity is there within you. A yogi is one who has tapped into that capacity, and he has come to that level where there is no cause to act or not act. Here means his consciousness is not caught up with the cause, which means with that effect, which means in that cause and effect cycle. He does everything which he ought to do, whatever actions he does, whatever thoughts he generates, whatever emotions he feels, whatever he says, whatever actions he avoids, everything is going on, but he keeps his mind, he keeps his consciousness above the cause and effect cycle. It's a very powerful state. See, today you are doing something, now that has an effect, now that effect produces another effect, that becomes a cause, another effect, another. So now in this whole process, it affects your mind so much. Every little effect actually has an impact on your mind, on your consciousness. So you are tossed about. You say something, the other person says something, now that affects you. Now based on that you say something, now this effect becomes another cause for some other effect from that other person. See, a cycle goes on building. And in that process, your mind goes through so much of stress. The yogi has done that sadhana by which he is able to keep his mind, his entire personality actually, his mind, his consciousness above this law of cause and effect. So whether he is acting or whether he is not acting, that is no doubt producing some effect, but he is untouched. So from his level, there is no cause whether he acts or does not act. That cause is at a lower level happening, but his consciousness has risen above that. Today you are caught up in that level, so you can't see anything beyond it. If a person insults you, you will get affected. That is the cause, this is the effect. You are caught up in that cycle. In that affectation, you will say something, you will do something, It may be even running away from the situation, but then you will run away and then go silently cry. You will not be able to sleep in the night peacefully. Some effect. Now that will become a cause for something else. That stress which keeps building up can create some disease in your body. Now that becomes the effect. Again, that becomes a cause for something else. So, in a multi-dimensional way, so many, in one go, you are thinking, you're feeling, you're speaking, you're doing this, you're avoiding that. So many. Then each one of these activities is setting up a cycle of cause and effect at a very fast pace. And when you are caught up in that, your mind goes for a spin. That is the reason why you get stressed. So when you do the sadhana every day, the yoga sankirtan sadhana, what do? You just play that material which has been given to you. You place your palms like this is symbolic when you place your palms facing upwards, which means you're getting into the state of neutrality and you just invoke the Guru Shakti. You say thanks to your Guru, all the holy masters, and you close your eyes and you just absorb that energy. You go with the energy flow. When you do that, you are raising, you are pulling your consciousness in the upward direction. That is, the cause and effect cycle is going on in your life, but you are moving above it. You are raising your level above it. On a daily basis, when that keeps happening, you will, at one point of time, you will firmly get established in the higher dimension. When I say you, I mean your consciousness. There are so many bumps on the road. The ups and downs on the road, the ground. But a flight which is flying so high, now the ups and downs, the mountains and the valleys which are there, they don't affect a flight. They don't affect an aeroplane because it is flying far, far above all these things. Similarly, when you are acting in the world, when a yogi acts in the world, he is performing all the actions, but his mind and consciousness are soaring in the higher dimension. This yoga sankirtan sadhana done meticulously on a daily basis will help you to raise your consciousness, which will automatically pull your mind also. Thereafter, the bumps will be there, but they will not affect you anymore. So, number one, artha means motive. Number two, artha means reason. And number three, artha means cause. So, no cause means no effect. No cause, no effect means not being caught up with the cause and effect cycle. You cannot stop the cause and effect. The moment you act, there is going to be an effect. The moment you don't act, that is also going to cause an effect. But you can ensure that your mind and consciousness, they are above this cause and effect cycle. It doesn't happen at one go. You will have to do your sadhana on a daily basis. Every Sunday when you attend these sessions, temporarily your consciousness gets lifted up. You're given a glimpse. That last 10 minutes when we have the Nididhyasana meditation, many of you say today's meditation, today's Nididhyasana was out of the world, Yogishri, some people say. Literally it is true, it is out of the world only because it is designed to pull your consciousness out of your world and soar in that infinite space, infinite dimension. So there is no artha to act or to not act here. Then we will see another dimension. Artha also means purpose. This is again tricky. If you see, you just put purpose there and see. For him, there is no purpose to act, not to act here. Or to not act here. Now, in all the sessions, many sessions, it has been told to you, you should live your life purposefully. Now here he says, this person doesn't have any purpose. It's not the way it looks apparently. What is your purpose in life? Today, if that question is asked to you, you are unable to define it exactly. Why are you acting? Why are you doing so many things? What is it that you want to achieve? What is your purpose? You say, I don't know. Okay, then the master comes and says, fix a purpose. Live your life purposefully. So you fix some goal. And once you fix that goal, some purpose, now all your activities start getting streamlined. You say, now, my life is becoming more purposeful. I'm attending every Sunday, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing sadhana. It's becoming more purposeful. Now, after a while, you will get stuck at that level. Then the master comes and says, now, increase your purpose. That is, make your life more purposeful. For that, you will have to refine your purpose. So today, you may say, let me now become successful in terms of my career, let us say. That is your purpose. Nothing wrong. Go ahead. But after a while, then you say, not merely that, I want finance, I want this, I want that. So you start making your life more purposeful. It's better than not having any direction at all. And then you say, okay, I have achieved a lot. Let me now give back something to society. I have taken a lot. So let me start contributing. Seva, let me do some seva in whatever way I can. It's not that everybody has to do the same kind of seva. If you're a teacher, let me do seva to the children. So you're refining your purpose, higher purpose. Then further higher purpose. Once you get established at that level, now you refine your purpose more. So when you go on refining your purpose, what is the most subtle and refined purpose which you can ever have? That is self-realization or God realization. When you get this purpose ingrained within you, now my purpose is to realize the self. My purpose is to merge with infinity. That is the time your life takes a totally different turn. Your purpose becomes so refined, so subtle. It is the highest purpose which you can have. It is a very advanced stage of spiritual progress. When you say, my purpose in life is self-realization, it's not about verbally saying, it's feeling that fully, living it. So, the moment you say, the purpose of my life is self-realization, thereafter, everything which you do, you will do for the sake of self-realization. You will eat. Why am I eating? So that I can realize myself. Why am I sleeping? So that I can realize myself. Why am I doing some yogic kriyas? So that I can realize myself. Why am I practicing unconditional love in my family? So that I can realize myself. Everything will start getting focused towards that ultimate purpose. So all actions and all those things which you are avoiding, everything will be directed towards that purpose. Now, this yogi has achieved that purpose. He is a self-realized master. The moment you become self-realized, thereafter, there is no purpose for you in life because you have already achieved that purpose. You are in a state of supreme contentment and happiness. So such a person, whenever he acts, he does not act for any purpose. Even self-realization. A master is not in a position where he is seeking God. He is already experiencing God. Long back, when I had given a talk in one of the universities, it was a very prestigious university. Many students had attended that and some professors also attended. The head of the university, he got so inspired by the talk. When the question answer session came, he took the mic and said, "Sir, I have a question." And his question was, "Do you believe in God, sir?" So everybody was so eager to know, to see what I have to say. Everyone thought I'm going to say, "Yes, God is great." I said, "No, I don't believe in God." And that head of the institution, he was totally taken aback. Then I said, "I don't believe in God. I experience God." There is a big difference. You believe in something which you don't experience. The moment you get the experience, what is there to believe? What is there to seek? That is the state of this self-realized person he is talking about. One who has experienced that infinite. Now he has reached, he has fulfilled that ultimate purpose which a human being can seek. Now, having achieved that purpose, thereafter, all the actions which flow from him are not directed towards any purpose, no purpose. These actions are manifestations of that infinite energy. That is why it is said, a master doesn't need to follow the Vedas. Whatever he says, whatever he does becomes a Veda. What are the Vedas? First of all, Veda only means knowledge. It's not a name of a book or something. But generally, when we say Vedas, we're talking about the four Vedas, no? Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda. We say that. What are those? Those are all inspired statements by the great masters. When they merged with the infinite, whatever energy they received, they gave out and they tried to express that verbally. That is what is the Vedas. So the Vedas give a direction to a person who has not yet realized that infinite. But once the person realizes infinite, what direction are these Vedas going to give? He is directly in communion with the infinite. Incidentally, this is what Lord Krishna says in the second chapter. We have already covered that. He says, for an enlightened person, the Vedas are of no use. They are exactly like a pond of water where there is a flood. Supposing there is a flood, everywhere there is water. Now, pond of water, what is it going to matter? How is it going to be useful? That is how, that is the state of an enlightened person, he says. So, you see, when he says no purpose to act, no, immediately don't think, oh, okay, I should not have any purpose in life. It's not that. You should strive to make your life purposeful. Let it be anything. Even if you're seeking money, it's better than not seeking anything and being tamasic. Just being lazy. That's of no use. And then go on refining your purpose. First you will seek money, then you will seek pleasure, you will seek name and fame, you will seek career, all these things. Fulfill yourself, no problem. But as you are fulfilling yourself, as you're fulfilling all these things through sadhana, another thought will come inside you. Okay, all these things are there. What could be beyond all this? Something higher you will pick up. Maybe service, seva, maybe devotion. Continue with your activities. Your purpose is getting refined. Continue further. Then one day you will begin to see that this entire thing is an illusion and self-realization alone is your purpose in life. Then your purpose has become very refined. Your life has become very, very purposeful. That is the highest purpose. Keep acting. And once you get into the infinite dimension, you will fulfill that purpose. You will get into a state of total happiness, total freedom. Your consciousness is completely liberated. And once you reach that state, thereafter, every action which comes out of you, whether you are acting or whether you are avoiding any particular action, that becomes an expression of that infinite energy. Anything which a master does, it is an expression of the infinite energy. He may keep quiet, he may be in silence, but that silence will affect you in a positive sense, I mean. He may talk, that will affect you. He may just simply keep cracking jokes. Just the presence is enough. Everything which he does or whatever he does not do, all actions become an expression of that infinite energy. That's why in the good old days, what was the sadhana which they used to practice? The sadhana was to just be with the master. Master may talk, master may not talk, master may keep playing some game, anything he may do. But just being with the master itself, they say, is one of the greatest sadhanas. But not everybody can do that, because the energy will be so powerful that will bring out so many things from within. One may not be able to handle it. That's why the master says, no, you go ahead, you live your life. Every now and then we'll meet. Receive that energy. Again go back to your life, live your life. It'll be easy for you to handle. Because some sadhaks ask me this. They say, sir, we have read that the greatest sadhana is to be with the Guru. So please, we just want to come and stay with you. That is not required. The greatest sadhana is to be with the Guru, no doubt. But that is not, they are not talking about merely physically being with the Guru. It is being attuned to the energy of the Guru. The next month, in the month of July, we are going to have the Guru Purnima, no? Guru Purnima is nothing but getting attuned to the energy of the Guru. And that you can do from wherever you are. It is an internal connection, a very deep connection. So, when he says there is no purpose to act or not act here, what is the sadhana message? Make your life purposeful. and go on refining that purpose, get to the highest purpose and achieve that, then there will be no other purpose behind any of your actions. Your actions, your very presence will become a manifestation of that infinite energy. You will constantly be radiating that infinite energy. You know, one great master, he used to say that when he was doing his sadhana and all that, a lot of difficulties, a lot of blocks come. So whenever those things used to happen, what he used to practice was just close his eyes and think about his guru and the guru tattva, the guru shakti. And the moment he used to, meditate upon the shakti of the guru, of his master, is automatically he used to experience his consciousness being lifted away from the problem which is bothering him. Within a few seconds, he used to say, he used to feel that he's completely protected. His consciousness has risen above all that. That is when you are truly close to a guru. It's a beautiful thing which that master gave out, this principle. So how is it that his consciousness got elevated? Because his master, who had reached the infinite dimension, now was always emanating that infinite energy. The student may get disconnected, may get connected and all that, but the master is like a sun. The sun keeps on illuminating. Similarly, a master is self-illumined, and that illumination comes from that infinite source. It will never stop. It will keep on giving that brightness, that energy. Anyone who wants to sincerely receive that is free to receive. Wherever that person is, whatever that person is doing, all these things do not matter. It is that bhavana, that purity in a sadhak's bhavana gives him or her that connection with the Guru Shakti. And that is the true connection with the Guru. I am just mentioning it here now because the next significant, very important the sadhana which is going to come is the Guru Purnima, the yogic sadhana we are going to do. So all this is again through this, I'm also preparing you for that. We're going to have a real high level of energy. It's going to be invoked. So if you misunderstand this, you will lose your purpose in life. If you understand it correctly, your life will become more purposeful and you will go beyond all purposes at some point. Okay, so we will stop with that here. Now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Experience the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my physical body, beyond my pranas, beyond my emotions, beyond my thoughts, lies the higher self. Myself is infinite and divine. My consciousness is one with the infinite, way beyond everything. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. Today's session was very powerful. The Nididhyasana meditation is also extremely powerful. I'll give you a small homework now for this week. Just this Nididhyasana meditation, whatever was given to you today, do this a minimum of 3 times this week. This is apart from your other sadhana, the regular sadhana which you're doing. Minimum of 3 times, maximum once a day. If you're doing your sadhana in the morning, yoga sankirtan, do this in the evening or in the night. Just for this 1 week. Because the energy which has been given through this Nididhyasana meditation is extremely subtle, very powerful. So just that one session cannot, you will not be able to receive the whole thing just like that. So just for this week, you do it a few more times, minimum 3 times, maximum once a day. That is, if you start, okay, today Sunday, it's over. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Maximum 6 times. Minimum 3, maximum 6. And then come back next week. Your consciousness would have gone to a different level. Then only you'll be able to absorb more and more of this infinite energy which is being given to you. And incidentally, there is also a preparation for the Guru Purnima sadhana which we are going to have in July. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.